Hello, my name is Judy Watson, and I am a student at Southern Regional Technical College in Thomasville, Georgia. My presentation today is on the topic of compensation and benefits. I chose this topic because, as a benefits coordinator at a local organization, it is a familiar topic for me. From this presentation, the viewer will be able to define compensation and benefits and know the differences in the two. Learn what factors should be taken into consideration when determining compensation. Learn the difference in mandated benefits versus those that are not mandated. Look at how executive compensation and benefits differ from regular employees. And learn about legal issues that may arise surrounding compensation and benefits. Compensation is what an organization pays an employee in exchange for a job or task performed. You may hear the term total compensation. This includes salary and wage compensation plus the value of other benefits offered to an employee. Determining compensation must be a strategic, well thought out decision for an organization. According to our textbook, some factors to consider include the purpose of compensation, an assessment of strategic options for compensation, knowledge of the determinants of compensation strategy, and the use of pay surveys. The basic purpose of compensating an employee is to make them feel valued and rewarded for their contribution to the organization. To determine the fairness equity in the realm of compensation, employees will compare themselves to others within the organization. This is called internal equity. Employees will also compare themselves with employees from other companies to determine if they are being compensated fairly, and this is called external equity. External equity can also be gleaned from pay surveys. There are many standards in place to help ensure that employees are being paid fairly. The Equal Pay Act of 1962 ensures that men and women performing the same job must be paid the same. The Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 established a minimum wage and regulations for extra pay of time and a half for employees working in excess of 40 hours per week. There are numerous strategic options for compensation. A company that is just starting up may only be able to pay a base rate for work performed. Hospitals may pay a differential pay for staff who work nights or weekends. Companies may compensate employees based on seniority or age and years of service, or they may choose to pay based on performance. Companies compare their compensation to what other organizations are paying for similar jobs. Finally, cost to the organization is a huge factor in determining compensation. When determining compensation strategies, several factors come into play. The overall organizational strategy and how the compensation plan fits into that strategy. Budgeting and the ability to pay is a major factor when determining compensation. Organizations want to be able to pay their employees enough to attract and retain top talent employees. And they must also be aware of any union influences that may affect the compensation they offer employees. Benefits are things of value that an organization provides to the employee over and above compensation for work performed. Our textbook states that the typical employee costs the company just over $50,000 a year in total compensation. Many employees do not realize the huge cost to the organization to provide these benefits for them. However, in comparison to other countries, the U.S. ranks fairly low in the cost of benefits programs. Why would an organization go above compensation to provide other benefits such as pharmacy discounts, health club discounts, health insurance, life insurance, dental and vision insurance, retirement or savings plans? Companies are competing against each other for top talent employees. In an effort to attract and retain these employees, companies must offer them benefits that are better than the competition. Employees realize there are other options out there and they are demanding better benefits from their employers. Although benefits programs are costly, they often result in higher employee job satisfaction and lower turnover, so some of those costs are offset. There are social, cultural, and political changes that occur that change the landscape of benefits also. For example, today more and more people want a better balance between work and family. This is resulting in more companies implementing flexible schedules and work-at-home jobs. Some benefits are mandated by the government, and companies must be in compliance to avoid fines, penalties, and lawsuits. Here are a few benefits that are mandated. The Family Medical Leave Act of 1993, or FMLA, provides employees with up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave for health conditions or to care for a family member with a health condition. FMLA also provides leave for the birth or adoption of a child and has special provisions for military personnel. Other government mandates include the Pregnancy and Discrimination Act of 1970, the Employee Retirement Income and Security Act of 1974, or ERISA, the Social Security Act of 1935, which also included unemployment insurance and disability insurance, and Workman's Comp, which covers employees who are injured on the job. Here are some of the most common types of non-mandated benefits offered to employees. Sometimes these benefits are provided to the employees at no cost, and sometimes the employee shares the cost of premiums with the employer. According to our textbook, executives usually receive compensation in two forms: base salary and incentive pay. Sometimes executive compensation can be up to 100 times the salary of a regular full-time employee. They can also receive such benefits as stock options, which are sometimes tied to their performance. For example, the executive may be offered the option of purchasing stock at a discounted rate if his or her performance drives up the price of the stock by a certain date. Executives are sometimes offered perks such as club and recreational memberships, moving expenses, company car, cell phones, tablets, etc. Legal issues that need to be considered when determining compensation include exempt employees versus non-exempt, wage versus salary, overtime versus comp time off, child labor laws, tax liability for employees as a result of benefits deductions, not discriminating against protected classes of employees, vesting rights for employees who are participating in pension plans, and compliance with mandated benefits programs, etc. In conclusion, there are many things to consider when determining compensation packages for your organization. The key here is to research carefully and come up with a plan that meets mandatory requirements and still meets your company's needs and budgets. Thank you for watching.